Today, we're going to dive into what makes teams tick, using some incredible insights from McGraw-Hill's Business and Professional Communication. Let's jump right in.
You know the feeling, right? Some teams just have this amazing chemistry, while others, well, they just don't. Is it just luck, or is there something else going on? Turns out it's way more science than magic, and it pretty much all boils down to communication.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics. What even is a team? Then we'll follow its journey of growth, unpack the habits of the really great ones, look at leadership's role in all this, and finally, see how it all works when you're not in the same room.
First things first, we've got to lay the groundwork. You can't have a high-performing team without a solid foundation, and that means really understanding what it's made of.
A team isn't just a random collection of people. No way. The source material is really clear on this. A successful team is built on purpose. It comes from making deliberate decisions about why the team exists, who's on it, and what its culture is going to be, right from day one.
And those decisions really come down to these three things. You've got to ask, what's our actual mission here? Who do we need on board? Do we need people from marketing, from engineering, from all over? And hey, how long is this team even sticking around? Is it a quick project or a permanent thing? Nailing these answers down early saves so many headaches later on.
All right, so you've got the blueprint. What's next? Well, a team doesn't just spring into action and start crushing it. It has to go on a journey. And believe me, that journey can get a little bumpy.
In this chart, it maps out that journey perfectly. You can see this performance curve, right? It shows how a team starts out kind of cautiously, then hits this challenging dip before climbing all the way up to peak performance. Let's break down exactly what's happening at each stop.
Everything kicks off with forming. You can think of this as the honeymoon phase. Everybody's on their best behavior, being super polite and really just trying to fit in and not rock the boat. The main goal here isn't even about productivity yet. It's about getting comfortable with each other.
And then the storm hits. People start to feel a little more comfortable, and that's when their real opinions come out. This is where you see disagreements pop up about how things should be done. Now, look closely at the chart. Performance actually dips here. But, and this is so important, this isn't a sign that things are going wrong. This is a totally necessary, totally normal phase that forges a much stronger team.
Okay, so once you get through the storm, you reach the norming stage. This is where all that honest debate starts to pay off. The team figures things out, they agree on a plan, everyone knows their role, and you start to see a real shared vision take shape. It's like the calm after the storm.
And finally, you hit the jackpot, the performing stage. The team is now a well-oiled machine. There's a ton of trust, communication just flows, and everyone is laser-focused on hitting their goals. They've built their own culture and can handle just about anything you throw at them.
So, making it to the performing stage is one thing. But how do you stay there? Well, it all comes down to building some key habits into the team's everyday routine.
And just how important is this stuff? Get ready for this number. A recent survey showed that 66% of professionals say that bad communication is the single biggest thing holding their team back. Think about that, 2/3. It just goes to show you, getting communication right is an absolute game changer.
So, what's the secret sauce for the best teams? Well, they are obsessed with performance. They have a real sense of urgency, and they know where they're going. They also meet a lot, not just to meet, but to make sure everyone is on the same page. And maybe the biggest thing, they don't run from conflict. They lean into it because they know it's where the best ideas come from.
You know, that idea of healthy conflict is the perfect lead-in to our next topic, the huge role that leadership plays in steering the ship and making sure disagreements are productive, not destructive.
Now, leadership isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. You've got the democratic style, where everyone gets a say, then there's the autocratic leader who's clearly in charge, and then you have the laissez-faire style, which is more hands-off, empowering people to run on their own. The best leaders know which style to use depending on the team and what they're trying to do.
Okay, this framework is just brilliant. It shows 5 different ways to handle conflict, and it's based on 2 simple things: how much you care about your own goals versus how much you care about the other person's. If you're all about your needs, that's competing. If you're all about their needs, that's accommodating. But right there, in that top corner, where you care a lot about both, that's collaborating. And that's the win-win that the best teams are always aiming for.
So, we had the blueprint, we get the growth stages, we know about leadership. But how does all of this work when your team is spread all over the place? Let's talk about taking these rules and applying them to the virtual world.
The core ideas don't change, but how you execute them definitely does. For virtual teams, building trust is even more crucial because you're missing all that in-person body language. If you can, meeting in person just once at the beginning can make a huge difference. And you have to be so much more intentional, using your tech the right way, having super structured meetings, and making a real effort to know your teammates as actual people, not just names on a screen.
So to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Think about the team you're on right now. With everything we've just talked about, the stages, the habits, all of it, what is one small thing, one simple habit you could introduce tomorrow to help your team click just a little bit better?